Disclaimer, I run a YouTube channel primarily focused on PC building, gaming PCs in particular, so I'm probably biased, but I'm still gonna give this a shot. Here's my breakdown of the pros and cons of gaming on a PC versus gaming on a console in 2019.
Excellent!
The Hydro X series is Corsair's new line of custom cooling parts built for the world's most powerful and stunning systems. They've gone all out with CPU and graphics card water blocks, pump reservoir combos, fittings, tubing, radiators, and coolant, providing you with everything you need to build a spectacular custom cooling loop that lowers system temperatures and improves performance, complete with vivid RGB lighting. Click the sponsor link in the video description to learn more. Today's matchup is a long disputed one with strong opinions on either side, but I just want to be clear. You should have fun gaming. How you choose to game doesn't matter as long as you're having fun, and there are reasons consoles make more sense for some people and gaming PCs make more sense for others. No one should be looked down on for their choice in gaming platform, except of course for mobile gamers, because let's be honest, does mobile gaming even really count? People actually game on their phones? It's a brief holdover at best, like a quick fix to game a little bit until you can get home to a proper desktop or living room setup. At least that's what I've always assumed. I just don't get it. Anyway, as I was saying, gamers should respect each other, and this video will be the pinnacle of objectivity and scientific analysis. Gaming PCs in their many forms versus living room consoles like the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. Let's dive in. I don't know about you guys, but I like to get the bad parts of things over with first, so we're gonna start with cons. Speaking of getting the bad parts out of the way quickly, let's talk about the price of hardware. Gaming PCs are expensive, and you get what you pay for. You want more power? Pay more money. Consoles can easily be purchased for $300 to $500, which isn't exactly cheap, but that's the starting price for the most budget-oriented gaming PC, and usually $500 builds don't even include a graphics card. Gaming PCs get the red X for being expensive here. It's really no contest, but we will be addressing the price of games too. Just give me a minute. Next is another area where PC gaming struggles. Setup can be a pain, especially if you're assembling a gaming PC from individual parts like I like to promote here on my channel. There will be a trade-off when we get to the pros to counter this fact, but consoles really are just dead easy to set up, especially with HDMI typically handling both the video and audio signals. Gaming PCs need to be built, possibly, then need to be connected up with all the cables, then you need to get an operating system installed and maybe UEFI and driver updates. It takes some work. I do have some videos to walk you through it, thankfully, but I won't try to convince you that it's straightforward or fast. Red X for the gaming PC in this category as well. But now you've connected your gaming system to the internet, and what happens? Updates. This used to be an area where consoles also had an advantage. Your console plugs in and works, your game loads off of the disc or cartridge that you plug in, and you game. But internet connectivity is essentially a requirement for consoles now as well as gaming PCs, and your console probably needs an update, and it's probably Christmas morning or something and their servers are swamped. Welcome to internet gaming, console gamers. There are cookies, but there are also long wait times for operating system and game updates. Remember back when a game had to be finished before they shipped it to people? Wait, did you see the progress bar move? I think it moved. I think it's possibly locked up. Anyway, big red X's for both the console and PC gaming in this category. All right, this Band-Aid is taking a while to pull off, and yes, it hurts, and yes, this is another area where PC gaming can suck. Compatibility issues. It's the bane of the PC gamer's existence, and it can take many forms. Operating system compatibility for new features like DirectX 12, hardware compatibility to support a specific game or VR given the insane amount of hardware configurations that can exist within a gaming PC, or functional compatibility for new technology like variable refresh rate, which could be G-Sync or FreeSync, and maybe you have the right graphics card and maybe you don't. Yet another depressing big red X for gaming PCs here, and consoles. Actually, I'm gonna have to give consoles half an X in this category simply for lack of backwards compatibility with games. I should be able to play my original PlayStation 1 or OG Xbox games on a PS4 or an Xbox One or Xbox One X, but they're always cagey with that and with which games work, and they really like to resell you games that you already bought 10 years ago due to lack of games working, so half an X for consoles here as well. Finally, con number 5 is exclusive games. And while PC gaming has made great strides in market share, meaning more games than ever are available cross-platform, there are always those console-exclusive titles that you want to ignore but are actually good. Some examples include God of War on the PlayStation 4, the latest Halo game on Xbox, and of course all those consistently good Nintendo game properties like Zelda, Smash Brothers, and I guess pretty much anything involving Mario and Luigi. That said, PC gaming also has its share of PC-only titles, and while they're not always huge AAA games that you'd buy a console just to play, they're worth mentioning along with emulators and any other means of playing older games. We still had to wait 2 years for GTA 5 on PC though. I'm still getting over that. Console, you get half a red X for this category too. Well, the PC ran the table in my cons list, so let's make up for that with some pros as well. Do you want to game above 1080p resolution? How about at an ultra smooth 120 Hz or even 200 Hz refresh rate? Maybe bump that resolution up to 1440 or 4K or an ultra wide 3440 by 1440 experience. You just have to game on a PC for this. I can hear some muffled complaints about 4K being an option with the newest and most expensive consoles, but I can't really hear them very well over the sound of trade-offs required like screen scaling, pixel popping, jagged edges, not to mention that short list of games that actually support it. And are they running at 4K? Are they running at slightly lower resolution than 4K and being scaled up? But I guess you do get to enjoy those crisp high-res frames even more, since they'll be staying on screen for 2 to 6 times as long at 30 frames per second instead of 60, 120, 144, or 200. Big green check for PC gaming here, no check for the consoles. Now, I already dinged PC gaming for console exclusives, so now we're fighting back with some pricing and variety. There are an insane amount of free games you can play on the PC. There are regular and very heavily discounted sales on platforms like Steam and GOG that allow you to buy up games for pennies on the dollar. And even though consoles might have some great exclusive titles, none of them can hold a candle to the number of games available to play on a capable gaming PC, which includes a backlog of older games that still work just fine because they're PC games and your hardware can handle them. And there's not a company like Sony or Microsoft in control that say, hey, let's not let them play those older nostalgic games that they want to play and maybe they'll pay us more money to buy them again. Green check for the PC here. Now, if you build your own gaming PC, you can choose your own parts, which is what customization is. If you decide that you want better gaming performance, you can upgrade your graphics card. You can't do that on a console. You could also maybe then use your gaming PC to edit a video for YouTube, or hammer out your finances in Excel, or start a business making YouTube videos about how to use Excel. None of these things can be done on a console, so green checkbox for all the other things that you can do with a gaming PC besides gaming. Just to be fair though, while you can't customize your console's hardware, you can customize its look with skins or a special limited edition version. You could also upgrade your console with a VR kit or other accessories, and that should be mentioned. Also, a console can now act as a media center device in a home theater, playing content from 4K Blu-rays or from online, and internet browsing is also possible with them too. So I will give half a checkbox to consoles because they have learned how to do more things recently. Now, gaming by yourself can be fun, but multiplayer gaming introduces a level of entertainment, interaction, and general chaos that is hard to replace. Here, I will give green checkboxes to both platforms, but for different reasons. Consoles get a point for ease of in-person multiplayer, because if you want a game in a living room with 4 people on the same screen, it's the best solution with the most games available that are made for that style of play. The PC gets a point here because although multiplayer gaming usually is done online, it's usually also free to do so. There's no Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus subscription required. You just buy the multiplayer game, connect to the internet, and then play online with your friends. I prefer this method. Paying a monthly fee or yearly fee for online multiplayer access just kinda sucks. Finally, we have VR support, and I almost skipped this one, but VR really is a lot of fun to try out. VR gaming can be tricky though because it has to convince your brain that you're in a completely different place, which means that high refresh rates and higher resolutions on your head-mounted displays are going to provide a better experience, but you'll also need a more powerful computer in order to push those higher resolutions and refresh rates. On the PC you can do this, but getting set up for it can be costly. Not only do you need that really powerful PC, you need the VR gear as well. Consoles can do VR too now, but there's only so much that can be done with the existing hardware, so the experience is just not as fluid. I gave PC gaming the full checkbox here with a half check for consoles. The next-gen consoles might be a different story when they launch though. So there you have it guys, my pros and cons list for PC versus console gaming. Looking at the whole list, you might notice that PC gaming has both more negatives and more positives, while consoles are just a bit simpler overall. And I think that's a great spot to leave this video. PC gaming can do a lot for you, but it can also cost a lot and it can take more time to set up. Console gaming can be a lot of fun, and it's just, generally speaking, a little bit easier to access for people, and you don't necessarily need to be able to assemble a whole computer yourself. I will reiterate for the record though that whether you're gaming on a PC or a console, you should be having fun, so choose the platform that suits your needs best, and don't get into pointless arguments with someone who made a different choice simply because it's not what you picked. Maybe point that person towards this video, and who knows, maybe they'll discover that they were right. Either way. Thanks for watching though guys, sound off in the comments because I know you've got something to add to this conversation. Hit the like button too if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.